57C.
So Mughal 1526 to 1857. Please remember 1526 to 1857. So first is Babur. So Timur Heri, important and son of Genghis Khan, mother side, and due to the lineage of Timurids, then 1494 Babur, age 12, and son of Farguna, and Tans Sok Sina. Here you can see important lines. You see just important lines. Central Asia, you can see. So Babur was forced to move to India, and here he Babur 1526 to 1530 founder Mughal Empire, Timur and Genghis Khan. Other side, Genghis Khan. Sultan became the Sultan of Farguna, Afghanistan 12 years, and Kabul established 1504. And so he come from Khyber Pass, and here he capturing Bhima 1519 1520, Sialkot 1520, Lahore 1524, Punjab, and Parganas. Here you can see Kabul. So you can see all the things. Unstable political situation this time. Sikandar Lodi's death, and Ibrahim Lodi. So he was invited to fight against Ibrahim Lodi by Daulat Khan Lodi, Governor of Punjab Alam Khan, uncle of Ibrahim Lodi, Nasanga Mewar. First Battle of Panipat 1526. So Ibrahim Lodi Babur. Ibrahim Lodi defeated and Babur owned. So this time here Babur soldiers 12,000 and Lodi's 1 lakh. And here the Babur military tactics important effectively running Ottoman method of warfare and known as Tulgoma system of warfare. And here so here you can see Emperor of Hindustan Babur became, and Babur occupied Delhi and sent his son Humayun. And here victory of Panipat, and here new problems now come here. So because of Central Asia climate is very bad, Rajput was lying around under the lessons of Nana Sangha, king of Mewar, wanted to expel the Mughal force. There is hostel of Rana Sangha. Here you can see hostilities of Rana Sangha. Rana had expected Babur to return to Kabul. So, so here the Battle of Khanwa 1526 near Fatehpur Sikri. So Babur and Rana Sangha, Battle of Khanwa 1527. Rana Sangha defeated and Babur's position in the Delhi Agra was secured. Battle of Khanwa 1526. Babur and Rana Sangha. Babur won, and Babur declared the war against Rana Sangha to be a jihad and adopted the title of Ghazi for the victory. And here is some of the important. So here is Battle of Chanderi 1528 between Babur and Medini Rai. Battle of Chanderi. And here you can see. So here Rajput ruler of Malwa. So here Babur faced little difficulty with his defeat. So Rajput completely come under Babur. Battle of Ghagra, 1529. So Babur and Muhammad Lodi. Okay. Significance of the Babur advent into India. Security from external invasion from northwest frontier. Security from the external invasion from northwest frontier. So first time downfall of the Kusana Empire. Kabul and Gandhara become integral parts of Mughal Empire. And here he established an all India empire. He became breaking power of Rajput content, confederacy and introduced new mode of warfare led the led to the popularization of gun power and cavalry and artillery in India, and re-established authority of the king in Delhi, the Firoz Shah Tughlaq, which had been eroded since the death of Firoz Shah Tughlaq, and Heri Sunni Orthodox neither bigoted, and he was devoted to follower of Naqshbandi, Sufi, Khaja, Ubadullah, and he was deeply learned Persian, Arabic. Okay, and indeed he wrote memoir in Turkey and Tujiki Babri and Babarnama, translated Farsi and Abdul Rahman Rahim Khan. And he was keen lover and observer of nature. Okay, and built a mosque at one in Panipat and other is Sambhat in Rohilkhand, Humayun between 30 to 56, elder son of Babur, and the name Sujeri, young age, Yeri, and problem now come. So one problem faced by minds that his administrative power was not consolidated. The finance were precarious, and why did not command the respect of the esteem of the Mughal nobility and confront the hostility of the Afghans and other prominent provincial rulers, not fully subdued. So here central powers like Kamran, Koibul, multiple central powers now this time Humayun had. So here this time we can see here Kamran and Hindal, Alwar and Merat and Mirza, Aksari and Sambal. So here 1532 Dola he defeated Afghan forces. So just wait. Humayun, his eldest son, financial new administration was not consolidated and the finances were precarious. So most two battle, one battle Panipat and others against him, and here Humayun did not command the respect and esteem of Mughal nobility. He also had to confront the hostility of Afghans and other prominent provincial rulers. So Sher Khan here come here, and Humayun had to share power with his brother, and which created multiple center power of all Kamran, Kabul, and Kandahar, Punjab, Hindal, Alwar Mirat, and Mirza Aksai, Sambal. And 1532 Dura he defeated the Afghan forces and powered for the Chawahar. So Sher Khan now come and get away the eastern India, and treaties with rising Afghan leader Sher Khan. Okay, and here we can see when he was forced to roast back to Agra 1532 to 1550, 1533. So here you can see all the things. Matching here, one is Sage Mandu and appointed his younger brother Askari viceroy of the Gujarat. Okay, and Sher Khan became the questioned master of Bihar. So here we can see all the things. Sher Khan became the unquestioned master of Bihar, and here Rani Khan, Rumi Khan master. So Sher Khan destroyed the Rani Khan and powered fort of the Rohtas by treasury. On the surrender mine, and Bihar will pay annual tribute of 10 lakhs dinars if he was allowed to retain Bengal. Battle of Chausa near Boxer 1539, Humayun was defeated and Sher Khan adopted the title Sher Shah. Mm. And here is Battle of Chausa you can see 1539, Battle of Bilgrama, Battle of Kanauj 1540. So Battle of Kanauj, Battle of Bilgrama 1540, and defeated by Sher Khan. So you can see Kanauj was, so here you can see, and Humayun now become the prince of the kingdom and exiled for the next 15 years, 1540 to 1555. Okay, and next, and here he married Hamida Banu Begum, and while they stayed Amarkot and Hind Kingdom, Rana Prasad Akbar was born in 1542. Sultan of the court, the Iranian king. So you can see in 1555, Sur Empire, Humayun defeated the Afghans and recovered the Mughal throne and consolidated his position. Only after 6 months he died, a fall from the staircase of his library. Sirsa at Delhi, 1555, 56. So you can see. So his half sister here, you can see. When so Gulwana Begum, sorry, Amida Banu Begum married and Akbar born and shelter of the Iranian king. And next 1555, next 15 Humayun defeated the Afghans and recovered Mughal throne and died followed from his library, and Bairam Khan, his faithful, helped him, and his half sister Gulbadan Begum wrote Humayun Nama. Okay, and next Humayun built the new city Delhi. He named Dinapant and Jamali Mosque. Okay, Isa Khan and Humayun terms. You can see in Delhi. Okay, Humayun invited the Persian painters and Mir Syed Ali and Abdul Shah. Sorry. So here you can see Mughals actually. So here Humayun defeated Afghans and recovered Mughal Empire, Mughal throne. So here you can see, and here his sister Gulban Begum returned. Humayun Nama, Bairam Khan, his faithful officers helped him to come back to India. Humayun built a new city after Delhi and named Dinapanaha, Jamali Mosque of Isa Khan, Humayun terms Haji Begum. The Afghan interlude Sur Interregnum 1555. Sher Shah Suri, 1486 to 1545, founder of Suri dynasty, second Afghan empire, total Lodhis. So, named as Farid and son of the Hassan Khan. So, served under Afghan governor of Bihar. Title Sher Khan for his bravery, killer of tiger, and most powerful Afghan military he engaged. And adopted Humayun, he adopted the title Sher Shah after defeating Humayun. Battle of Chausa, he declared himself as an independent king. He defeated Humayun again, and Battle of Kannauj, and proclaimed himself as emperor of Hinduism, Hindustan, age of 54. And Battle of Kannauj proclaimed an emperor of Hindustan. A Battle of Samel. So he defeated Maldev in Battle of Samel, Ajmer, 1544. He defeated rebellions of Afghans in Bengal in 1545. Established himself superior in Punjab, Sindh, okay, Rajputana, West and Bengal. His last campaign against Kilanjar, Bundelkhand, and died from the accidental explosion of the gunpowder, 1545. So, Muslim, he adopted the tolerant attitude. He employed Hindus in his office, and here he built Purana Killa, Old Fort, and Sher Mandal. Okay, and on here you can see Sasaram, on Mausoleum, and Robert Fort's now he also built Rotas Fort in a called heritage site, and Sher Shah Suri Masjid and Behra, and Muhammad Jaisi Padmavat during Malik Muhammad Jaisi completed Padmavat. Famous historian Abbas Khan Sahani and wrote Tarikhi Tariki Serd Sahi, and Islam Shah. He succeeded his son Islam Shah, and here is Sur dominance was patroned among the relatives of the Sher Shah, Punjab, Delhi. Sher Shah's administration, 1540 to 1545. So his administration served inspiration. 47 sarkars divided, and chief sikdars, land and order, and chief munsif, judge, and parganas divided into several parganas, and sikdar, military officer, amil, land revenue for the, and fatehdar, treasurer, and karkuns, accountants, and muja, village. Hmm. So here you can see. So here Diwani Wajahat, also called Wazir, Iktas, called Iktas, administrative units. Diwani Wajahat, also called Wazir, and Diwani Arij, Chanjab Army, and Diwani Resat, Foreign Minister, Diwani Insa, Minister of Communications. So land revenue administration, and called Amils, with Kunango introduced theory of the crop rates into land revenue, and everything Jabti har sal, land assessment every year, cultivation land into three heads: goods, bad, and good, middle, bad, and average production one third of the. Hmm, Ye cultivated lands into three, and average production, and Sikandari gauge. Okay, 32 points. Patta here present had to pay, and Kabiliyat, deed of agreement, new copper coins called Dam, introduced silver rupiah, and called Astres of the empire. Roads, Cecil has improved communication, building roads and others. Silver coin introduced, standard words 178 again rupiah this time. Tam rupiah come to used. 1 rupee 64 gram dams this time. Okay. Okay. New copper coin he introduced. Sorry. Cheap money against him. Paraganas, it is divided several paraganas and Sikdar, military officer, Hamil, Land Revenue Fatehdar, Jedi treasurers and Karkuns, accountants and Moja. Just the administration. And Diwani Wajad called Wazir, change of revenue and charge of revenue and finance, Diwani Arij, army, and Diwani Risalat, foreign minister, Diwani Insa, minister of communication, and he called land revenue Amils and Kwarango, official in charge maintaining revenue. All organized revenue officers. Here, Diwani Insa, minister of communication, Gujarat Wazir, revenue mainly, and here cereal crops and cooperates and improved land revenue system adopting Jabti Harsal. Okay, land assessment, cultivation of three goods, good, middle, and bad, and average production, one third of the average production, and secondary gauge. Introduced two documents, Patta and Kabilat. Patta mainly each present had to pay. Kabilat deed agreements, new copper coins introduced called Dam, and silver rupiah he introduced, and artistic of the empire, communication, builds roads, etc. Okay. Gold coin issued, weighted 169 grams. Modern rupee introduced, rupee come to be used as a silver coin. Okay, next silver rupee 1 rupee 64 dams. So next, and here four important highway here you can see. Okay, so here mainly Sonargaon, Sindh to Sindh, the old imperial road. Okay, here you can see, and Uttarapatha connected Tamrapalli, Bengal, Agra to Barampur, and Jodhpur to Chittor, and Lahore to Multan. He built Sarais, okay, fortified lodging and Sanna, custodian, watchman. Every sarai had watchman and Sarra, custodian. Establishment of the law and order, and dealt sternly and market towns. Okay, newly service of the Dak Chowki, and here you can see all the things introduced by Shershah. So, here a good paid and custom duty only took places in Bengal is important from outside customs. So here you can see Mughal village headmen here, Mukaddams and Jamindars responsible to the loss of the merchants suffered on the roads. Amirs, intellectual Amirs to complete people to trade merchants, and in fact he made the local village headmen Mukaddamas and Jamindars. So here you can see, so revive Aladdin's Chera and Dag systems, and showers and maintain personal royal force, Khasa Kyle, basis on justice, and he invited his son Islam Shah. Big steps towards the dispensation of justice, codified the laws, Akbar 1556 to 1605. Okay, and greatest merchants, son of Humayun. Okay, Hamida Banu, mother, Begum born Amarkot, 1542. reunite, Akbar reunite appearance and capture Kandahar. Okay, and he was crowned at Kalanpur, Punjab, 1556, at the age of 13 years, and regency period of Bairam Khan, 1556 to 1560. Bairam Khan was Humayun's favorite officer, and Akbar served as Akbar tutors. Okay, Akbar tutors and title of the Khani as well as regent Khani Khanan. And Bairam Khan defeated Akbar at the Second Battle of Panipat, 1556. So next, Battle of Panipat and with the Hamu, Vikramaditya, Wazir of Muhammad Shah Adil of Bengal. Okay, and others we can see. It is a long chapter, and I think it is the best chapter. And Akbar was wanted to assume full control, and he thus removed Bairam Khan. So you can still you can see here, and he decided to go Makkah. Okay, and sorry, just wait. So Muhammad Meham Anaga and Adam Khan, 1561. Adam Khan, various Malwa, Braj Bahadur, and Rupamati, the Malwa queen. Both of them are prepared to take his life to then become Mughal capture. Travel to the acting Wazir. And Akbar had him thrown down from the Agra fort, 1561 and 1562. 7. And Uzbek here Central Asian novels. Uzbeks declared Mirza Hakim governor of the Kabul, and Timurud noble Mirzas. And here you can see Mirza Hakim was forced to withdraw to Kabul. Early expansion of the empire, 1560 to 1576. Akbar had to face since Himu's capture of Delhi. Akbar overcame multiple threats. And here you can see the conquest of Gwalior, Malwa, and Gondwana. Here Malwa ruler Baj Bahadur was defeated by Adam Khan. His ruler. And here the kingdom of Gondwana. Okay, Gar Katanga included the Narmada Valley, northern parts of Madhya Pradesh, owned and Rajput principles. Here in Malwa, the important Rana Mayor. And here independent central India ruled Rani Durgavati, the Chandela ruler, Chandela prince from Mahaba, widow of the Dalpat Shah and Sangram Shah. Asaf Khan, 1564, Mughal governor of Allahabad. Rani fought gallantry but lost the battle and stabbed herself to death. Conquest of Rajasthan. So here Rajput. Akbar was fully aware to importance of Rajput kingdom. So his allies, in his ambition establishing large empire, he tried to win over Rajput wherever possible, and elected them into Mughal service. He also entered into matrimonial alliance with the Rajput rulers. And Rajput kingdoms like Mehta and Jodhpur were occupied, and siege of Chittor, Marwar, okay, key to central Rajasthan, and is a symbol of the Rajput spirit of the resistance. And Rana Uday Singh retired to the hills, famous warriors of the Jaimal and Patta. Okay, later Maharana Pratap, the ruler of the Mewar, posed serious challenge. Battle of Haldighati, 1576. Rana Pratap was defeated by the Mughal army, Mansingh. So Rajput accepted after the fall of the Chittor and Ranthambore, 1569. C and Kalinjar was captured, 1570. Marwar, Bikaner, Jaisalmer, and 1570 Akbar had captured almost whole Rajasthan. And the notable achievements here you can see no hostility between the Rajput and the Mughals, brought religious tolerance then, uh, and he abolished the pilgrim tax, 1563, jizya, and 1564 and prohibited for civil conviction the prisoners of war. And Rajput Mansabdars were assigned to their own territories of Watan Jagirs and hereditary of the non-transferable conquest of Gujarat, Bihar and Bengal. So here you can see all the things. And Akbar 1572 Akbar advanced on Ahmedabad, that is Ajmer, and defeated the Gujarat ruler Muzaffar Shah. It was the order of the commemorate the victory of Gujarat that Akbar built Buland Darwaza and Fatehpur Sikri. And Mirza Aziz Kota here he returned to the capital, and here he so Ikhtiar ul Mulk and Muhammad Hassan Mirza revolt against the Mughal ruler. Here he quickly suppressed the rebellion 1573. So Bihar and Bengal, here you can see Afghans, and they declared the independence by the new ruler Daud Khan. Daud Khan. Akbar had the opportunity he was seeking. 1574 Akbar along with the Khanan Munaim Khan marched towards Bihar. Battle of Bihar in 1576. Rebellions of the further expansion of the Mughal Empire, 1580 to 1581. Bengal, Bihar, Gujarat, northeast, this northwest part. Afghans were at the root of this problem. Akbar policy was strict administration of the Jagirs. Dag system, breeding horses, strict, all you can see. And dissatisfaction, this created dissatisfaction. And Mirza Hakims this time come. Raja Todor Molhiri, large force. Todor Mol and Sheikh Farid Bhaski so successfully crushed rebellion of Bihar, Bengal, adjoining Naman Singh and Bhagwan Das offered south defense to Mirza Hakim, attacked Lahore. Akbar crowned his success and marching to Kabul, and first time Indian ruler had entered this historic town. Akbar gave the charge of Kabul to his sister Bhuktunisia Begum. Raman Singh was appointed governor of Kabul. Kabul was handed Jagir and Punjab in northwest, 1584. And Abdullah Khan Uzbek, or you can see, ruled this time. And Uzbeks he sent expeditions against Kashmir and against Balochistan. Expeditions were also sent to clear the Khyber Pass. Rasmani and Rosani was sect having large following. Pir Rasonoi, his son, Dal was head of the saint. So Jain Khan and Syed Khan Gakhar Raja Birbal here this time. Syed Khan Gakhar Raja Birbal, again Birbal lost his life. Raja Birbal and the Raja Mansingh suppressed rebellion. 1590, Akbar stayed at Lahore till 1598. Threat of Uzbeks, the consolidation of the northwest and fixing frontier of the empire, eastern and western India and the Deccan. Here Raja Mansingh, Odisha, Kojbihar, this time his area. So here you can see mainly Akbar's whole history now we study. And Mirza Aziz after Koka. Here next Prince Murad and Abdul Rahim Khan and with Bengal Bihar, Chanda Bibi, Sultan's sister. Mirror succeeded Beharar and Mughals. Abul Fazl to Deccan, here you can see, deported, and Prince Daniel and Khanan. Okay, so next, the direct conflicts with the Maratha. 1605, Akbar died of testimony. Dysentery. Akbar was not liked, particularly by Sikh. Ahmad Sirhindi. Art of architecture here, indigenous style, art style, and common of the sandstone. Use of the arches and boldly carved and laid patterns and brightly colored patterns. Built the Agra Fort, red sandstone. The other forts like Lahore and Allahabad. However, the city of victory near Agra, and Gujarat, Bengali styled, and found, and Jama Masjid now, and the gateway of the Buland Darwaja, lofty gate, 176 feet and built 1572, and commemorate Akbar's victory over Gujarat. Panj Mahal Palace you can see in this time. So you can see all the things. So here you can see Deccan dispatched under Afghan rulers and better of the Mughals. Here you can see. This was against the Ahmednagar under the command of the Prince Muhammad Abdul Rashid Khan Karam, 1595. Ahmednagar and Chanda Bibi, deceased Sultan. Bearer of the Mughal, seized the bearer to Mughals, and Abul Fazl of Deccan, and Prince Daniel and Khanan this time. This Next, 1605 Hijri, Akbar died the dysentery, and Akbar was not liked. Ideology, art and architecture, indigenous style, pattern, brightly colored pattern, and Agra fort, wild red stone, that sandstone use, indigenous style of art. Okay, and next, and Comrade Akbar's victory over Gujarat, Panchmahal Palace. Okay, Sheikh Salim's Chisti tomb and Diani Khas Diwania, Buland Darwaja, 1572, Lafti Gate, 176 meter. Okay, Fatehpur Sikri, City of Victory, near Agra. Okay, and Buland Darwaja it is. And Panchmahal Fatehpur Sikri built own tombs, Sikandra and temple of Govinda Deva, Vrindavan and Dandari Mahal. And several literary texts, religious texts, Persian version, with a miniature form, Agra Fort it is, produced in miniature works, and important works is Hamchanama, 1200 paintings, organized paintings of the imperial Karkhanas, introduced in European style and others, and Baswan and Daswant, Rajim Nama, Persian, and Mahabharata are prominent painters. And Abdul Qadir Badawani wrote Kitabul Tawarik and Khaja. Najimuddin Ahmadi wrote Tabakat-e Akbari Tariq Alfi. Qutbi Nazir, leading the Persian poets, were present in the Akbar's court. This year, so Ramayana Ramcharitmanas, Hindi poet Tulsidas most influenced his times. 1556, Second Battle of Panipat, 1550. 1560, expansion against Gwalior. 1561, expansion of against Malwa. And abolition of the pilgrim tax, abolition of jizya, 1564. And 1568, expansion of against Chittor. 1570, expansion of Malwa, Bikaner and Jaisalmer. 1571, shifted Agra, Fatehpur Sikri. And 1572, expansion of the Gujarat. Buland Darwaja, 1574, expansion of Bihar, Bengal. Battle of Haldighati, 1576, and 1579 issued degree of infallibility. And next, and Shiri, expansion of Kabul, 1581, 1583, imposed ban on the killing of the animals on certain days, and 1585, Shiri, first Englishman visit Akbar's court. Capital Lahore, transferred, and 1586, expansion of Kashmir and Balochistan. And 1591, expansion of the against Sindh. 1592, expedition of the against Odisha. 1595, expedition against Kandahar. 1601, Hiri and 1601, last campaign of the Akbar against Asirgarh and death of the Akbar, and administrative system of the Akbar system. Hiri organization of the government retained an administrative system. Sultan Sher Suri, highly centralized, and Jaigir Khalisa, and income went directly to the royal exchequer, and Inam to learn religious means central administration, supreme head of the administration. Wazir was revived under the Mughals. Principal link Sher Singh and Bairam Khan. Bairam 1556 to 1560 was regent of Akbar for the Raj. So next, so Bairam Khan. So here you can see unlimited power. Wazir, Wakil Wazir, unlimited powers. Akbar reorganized checks and balances and financial power given to Gabe. Checks and balances, that's the head of the revenue department. He is to the Wazir. He was no longer the principal advisors. Affairs having the title of Diwan or the Diwani Alam. Diwani Alam. Mir Bakshi, head of the military administration and head of the nobility. So head of the intelligence and information agency, and Barid an intelligence officer. Okay, Navi's news reporter. Next. So Barid's intelligence officer. Here you can see Mir Saman here Mir Saman is officer in charge royal household, royal karkhanas. Mir Saman. So next. And the maintenance of the equitable the court control of the royal bodyguard and Chief Ghazi and Sadar Judicial Department Sadar the poet head of the essential department and poet protest laws of the Shariat and responsible for all charitable religious endowments and Abdul Nabi accused corruption Mahajur 1580. Akbar's view was here again prevailed in the case of conflicting view in the religious scholars. Imam grants okay, Akbar grant Imam lends to all persons irrespective of their religious faith. So it ruled that half of the Imam had land consists cultivable wasteland. So here you can see Muhtasib's censors of public morals and rules on morality is used to examine weights on measures enforce fair price. Extremely high salaries, Mughal nobles. There was a brain drain, reversed as India accepted. Provincial administration Subas or provinces by Akbar. Next. So Subhas and Paragana village. Subhas Agdars, okay, Fazdar and here you can see. So Subedar, here you can see provincial governor, head of the province. Maintenance of general law order. The head of the revenue is the was Diwan. The books in the province perform the function. The head of the revenue department of this in the Suba is called was thus Diwan. Books of the province perform the same function and were performed by Mir Bakshi. His office was combined with Wakia Navis duty informed the center and Sadar, the representative of the central Sadar at the provincial level was called Sadar. Okay, and judicial department he also looked. Also the Kajis, there was were some of the other officers appointed at provincial level. Okay, Daroga Idak and maintaining communication channel, mirrors, postal runners and circus area, further and Amalgars, important function, circus. Fauzdari, this time you can see Fauzdari here. Administrative division of the Sarkar was the territorial and revenue division. Maintained and further was maintained law and order, and Amal Gujar Amil revenue collector. Here you can see account trend to daily receipt and expenditure report to the provincial Diwan and Pargana Sikdar and executive officer and none go. We have all the records land and the Pargana Kotwals appointed. Here you can see in charge of the law and order village Muguddama village headman and Patwan Patwari looks after the village revenue system and Jamindar they utilize the maintenance law and order and areas or village collected collection of revenue. The forts were placed under the officer called Kiladar. The governor of poet was called Mutasaddi. Collected tax. Okay, land revenue administration, land revenue system adopted by Akbar, largely Western system, and Jabti called Jabti or Bandobast system. So improved Raja Total Mall. Okay, and introduce uniform system of the land measurement, collection of land, fixation. It is one third revenue of the one third of the average produce, and it is in 1580. The Sala system yield average yield of land assessed on the basis of past 10 years, and the most common the produce orders was called Batis or Valia Bhaksi. Produce was divided between the present state and fixed proportion. And another system is Musak or Kankut. Almost 25 of the village whole and Polaj is cultivated every year and Parathi follow once 2 years and Chachar once in 3 years and Banjar in 5 years or more. Karoris were appointed all over the India who were responsible for the collection of the core of the dams. Kunan goes local hereditary officials land record keeping. So GD advance with revenue officer, I mean revenue officer advanced Kavi loans. Maize were added this time, two crops, tobacco and maize. Potted and red chilies come later, 18th century. The peasant who owned and Mansabdari system important. Mansabdari system in the administration, every officer Mansabdar was assigned to rank Mansab. Lowest rank was 10 and highest pay was 55,000 for the nobles. Royal blood received higher ranks. Raja Man Singh and Mirza Aziz Ghulam honored with the rank of 7,000 each. So here was divided. The divided ranks were divided into Jat and Sawar. Jat means from personal, apart from the fencing, personal status of the personal hierarchy. Decided salary due to him. Sir rank number of the cavalry men. Okay, and the first category and second category. First category many swords of his Jat rank maintained. Second category maintained half of or more swords as his Jat rank. Okay, and third category maintained less than half as Jat rank. Okay, and the sword rank equal to the less that of the judge. If the sword rank was higher, the month's position of the official hereditary would not be affected. It would be decided by the judge. For the instance, persons holders holding 500 jat called Mansubdars. Okay, the 500 to 2005 Amirs and those of the ranks 2005 was and above called Amiril Ulma. Umdai Ajam. The Chera David described the role of the British on the Dag system here versus and periodic inspection and 10 to 12 to 20 ruler followed for every 10 cavalrymen. The Mansabdar had maintained 20 horses. Okay, so here you can see Mansabdar had maintained 12 to 20 horses, and here he mixed contingents of noble forms, all good Mughal by Pathan, Hindustani Rajputs. Mansudar was paid handsomely, but the fact that Mughal Mansudars formed the highest paid service in the world. So the only drawback of the Mughal was lack of the strong and effective navy. Jagir the system. So Jagir, so here, so assignment of the revenue, particular territory to the nobles of the service that to the state was an integral part of the Mansudar system. Assignment of revenue, a particular territory to the nobles. Jagir the system. So here he central Diwan, central office of the central Diwan would be identify paraganas. Sum total of the whose jama equal to the salary claim to the Mansubdars in case. So jama was in excess of salary claim. And Tanka Jagirs which are given in lieu salaries in of salary. They are transferable with 3 to 4 years and Here Masrut Jagirs given to certain conditions. Modern Jagirs assigned Jamindars, Rajas and their local dominations, hereditary, non-transferable. Okay. And Altham Jagirs, Muslim nobles, family towns. So Jagirdars were Jamindars, hereditary rights over the produce of the land. So here you can see. And 10% paid from 10% to 20% share. Jamindars assessed state Jagirs is in collection of land revenue, own armed forces they had and lived in forts or grahis. Religious policy. So here are various factors here again Sufi saints teaching of his tutor Abdul Latif, his marriage with Rajput women, intellectual giants like Sheikh Mubarak, his illustrious sons Abul Faizi and Abul Fazl. So he regularly visited Sain and Sheikh Muhammad Chisti at Ajmer. He abolished pilgrim tax 1562 and abolished jizya. He allowed his Hindu wives to worship to their own gods. And Ibadat Khana, Hall of Prayers, new capital Fatehpur Sikri. Akbar invited learned scholars from all religions. Okay, so they conduct religious discussions. Purushottam Das, Hindu, and Dastur, it is mainly Parsi. Akaviva and monastery Christian. Irrigation in infallible decree 1579 and 1582 religious called Dini Ilahi and Tuhindi Ilahi. So the divine monotheism believes God, one God. Salikul peace in all good friends, points of all religions, and it had only followers including Faji Birbal, Akbar Navratna, illiteracy, great lover, assets, artists and intellectuals. Abul Fazl wrote in Akbar Nama, was murdered by Bir Singh Mandela, Prince of Salim. Faji, Persian poet, translated Ilavati into Persian and Mahabharata was translated into Persian language. Faji. And Fakir Ajuddin, Supreme Mystic Chief Advisor, Tansen, great musician. in the Gwalior, served the court of the king Ramachandra. And it is believed that he could bring rain and fire through singing and ragas Megh, Malhar and Deepak. And Raja Birbal, courtier, died fighting Ustav Sahis, northwest frontier, overlooked revenue system. Yeri earlier worked in Sirsa Suri, Diani, Diani Asrif, Raja Mansingh, trusted general, Mansardar Abdul Rahim Khan, Litvat, devotee of the Lord Krishna, translated Badarna in Turkey. Mirza Aziz Kota, Khan-e-Azam, and first brother of Akbar, Mughal destiny after Akbar, Jahangir. Jahangir, mainly Jahangir Salim 1605 to 1615, and okay, Raja Birbal here, Raja Todurmol here you can see, Raja Mansingh, Abdul Rahim Khan, a Khanan, get poet. So the Muslim Bath, what is then translated, other Nama in Turkey, into Turkey, okay, and Mirza Aziz Kota, you can see. And Mughal dynasty after so Jahangir 1650 to 1627 below blessing of Sheikh Salim Chisti and revolted against Akbar in 1599. After Akbar's death, he crowned and Akbara assumed the title Nuruddin, okay, Muhammad Jahangir, conqueror of the world, okay, and 1611 he married Behrunnisa Nur Jahan, light of the, he titled her light of the world. Idmadudillah title and Nur Jahan great influence of Jahangir's life. For the so here she has given the status of the Padsa Begum. The coins were stuck in her name, and she got his high positions for her father, Chief Dians, and brother Asaf Khan, Khani Saman. 1612, Asaf Khan's daughter Arjumund Begum, it is known as Mumtaz, married Jahangir's third son, Prince Khurram, later Shah Jahan, rebellions, his eldest son Khusru. So, the fifth Sikh Guru Arjun Dev, this time. So Sikh Guru Arjun Dev was beheaded for supporting the rebel prince Khusru. Khusru's marriage to Mumtaz Mahal. Big problem now. Jahan married her daughter Lodi Begum. So here is Jahangir's young son Saryar. Now she supported. His personal ambition Jahangir had ordered Sergeant to go the Kandahar. And defeated by the force led by the Muhammad Khan, loss of Kandahar 1626, and invaded the Deccans to recover all the territories, surrender to the Mughal. So Mughal expansion under Jahangir 1615, Amar Singh mayor and submitted before him, and 1616 Maratha Sardars, the Khanan inflicted crushing defeat and combined force of Ahmednagar annexed 1620. Jahangir annexed Kangra and first Muslim ruler to do so. 1622, Kandahar was occupied Shah Abbas Persia. Conquest of Deccan could Jahangir could achieve title successors. Malik Ambar due to rise of the Malik Ambar in Deccan. So So here you can see the British visited Machipattanam during Jahangir's reign and Captain Hawkins, 1608 to 1611, Thomas Roe visited his courts. So Thomas Roe got so got the Farman and English factory at Surat. Chair of Chain of Justice, and here he wrote the Tujuki Jahangir's autobiography in Persian, in which he described his drinking habit. He also patronized valuable and Farang in Jahangiri and Abdul Hamid Lohari and Fadas Nama, and Kafi Khan wrote Muntakab-e-Lohab. He also patronized many scholars like Gazbeg and Nakib Khan. So now we discuss Jahangir. Just 16 minutes. Just wait, network not come. Yes, network just slow now here. Okay. Next we discuss this topic.